Hey, welcome to another episode of Thursday Thoughts. I'm so excited to be here with y'all. Listen, whew, it's been a busy week. I mean, we're in the third week of January. And many of us have already started our goals, right? We started thinking about what we want for the new year, what we want to accomplish. And we're at the point now where we're like, okay, we've come up with these goals, but how do you get it done? What's the art of getting things done? Guess what? That's what we're talking about. I host a really good workshop we had. I want to say it was on Sunday, and it was our vision board workshop, and we had such a fantastic turnout. And the common theme when asked, what's the thing that's keeping you from reaching your goals? Common theme was women were like, you know what? We can start it, but somehow we just can't finish it. We're not committed. We lose interest, or life gets to life. And does any of this sound familiar to you? Because it does to me. Those same things used to also stop me from getting things done. But tonight, I'm going to share some of the tools and tricks and some of the things that I found that work that help you get things done. So if you've created that beautiful vision board, right? Whether you're a person that use actual, canvas or, poster board, what have you, picture frames, or if you're tech savvy and you've been in Canva, you've created your vision board, you've got everything you say you want out there, but how you getting it done? How are you getting it done? And are you getting things done? Most of us, right, when it comes to our work life, we do what we have to do, and we get things done. We meet those goals because we know that our merits are tied to those goals. If you get incentives, your incentives are tied to those goals. So there's, all types of things that's tied into getting those goals, things that are much more tangible for you to when you meet those corporate goals. But how are you meeting the goals that you set for yourself personally in life? Let's get into it. Talking about the art of getting things done. So if you see me look down, it's because I have my notes. I don't want to forget anything. So as we talk about our goals, let's start by making a list. Make a list of your goals. Be very specific and jot down what your goals are. So everything you say you want, really write them down. And as you're writing them down, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to really think, are these goals aligning to my values? How important are these goals for me? Because the thing of it is, we need to stop setting goals that we don't value, right? We need to stop setting goals that we don't value. But we also need to learn to prioritize goals that add value to our life. Let me repeat that. We need to start prioritizing goals that add value to our life. Yeah, I know where I'm going with this. We have to watch our diet. We have to get physically active. I'm not even saying like how many pounds you want to lose or what size you want to be. I'm just simply saying from the perspective of being healthy. Healthy. So let's start thinking of, as you set these goals down, remember, we're trying to think, how do we get things done? And the first thing you do is you make a list, right? Make a list of everything. We've said that. But the next thing you need to do now is you need to prioritize these goals. Really prioritize them in the order in which you need to execute them. Because, like me, sometimes at the beginning of the year, I have a whole lot of things, but I've learned to prioritize my goals. Because when you try to implement a ton of goals at the same time, you're going to get overwhelmed. And you might have, a few days, you might go strong for 1 or 2 weeks, but the slightest little hiccup is going to throw a monkey wrench in your plan. And guess what? Everything goes to heck. You're not going to stick with it. So let's start our goals off smart, starting prioritizing which ones we want to tackle first. And then as you start building momentum, then you add to it. So to prioritize, and I know sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, we do this at work. We're talking about the Eisenhower matrix. So you're going to have 4 categories. You're going to draw a square. You're going to put 4 quadrants in the square, okay? On one quadrant, it's going to be urgent and important. These are the goals you're going to put in that quadrant. Those are the do now goals, right? Do now, because they're urgent and they're important. The other quadrant is going to be they're important, but they're not urgent. Those are the ones that you can just schedule, put a time frame, schedule that in. Then there's urgent, but not important, meaning you can delegate it. You can delegate it. And something that's urgent, maybe or not important, it could be something as simple as maybe there's some chores around the house. The dishes, that could be kind of urgent if you let them go on for too long, y'all. Maybe that's a task you can, delegate to somebody else to do. And then there's urgent. Then there's the goal, that's neither urgent nor important. Those are the ones you got to kind of think, well, do I really need that goal? So let's go through and let's frame this up as we talk about our goals. When we're talking about, again, implementing these goals, we want to start off with the ones that are most urgent for you. An example of that is, for me, my goal is to come off of my blood pressure medicine this year. And so I know that my physical activity is really, really, really important for me to do that. So for me, a high priority in my goals are going to be getting my physical activity in every day. Getting my physical activity in every day. That's going to be a priority for me. Also, in starting out, and you have to kind of know yourself. So if you're starting from scratch, trying to build a habit or trying to reach your goal, you want to start off with small chunks. So if my goal is to come off my blood pressure medicine, then I need to know what are the things I need to do in order to come off of it. So let's walk through it. One thing I know is physical activity. Another thing is I need to increase my intake of water. And the third thing I need to do is I really need to minimize the amount of sodium that I'm intaking. Those are 3 key things that I need to do that I know will help me come off of my blood pressure medicine. So I've made a list, right? So I have to go, come off the blood pressure medicine, and I've identified 3 things that I need to do. So if that's what I'm tackling, then I'm going to start my year off with, guess what? That's my priority. So as I move to the next phase, you go to the very next goal. And the key, again, you identify your major goal, but then you have to break it down in steps. And so if my goal is, let's say I'm starting off, I know I need to drink my water, right? But I'm not even taking in 40 ounces a day. If I'm not even taking in 40 ounces a day, then I'm not going to set a goal for me to take in 80 ounces a day, because then I'm setting myself up for failure. So what do? You say, you know what? I want to start off with this week. If you've never taken in 40 ounces, then start off with something like, maybe I'm going to do 32 ounces, right? I'm going to go 32 ounces. Try to get 32 ounces. Try to get 24 ounces. And then each week, add more to it. And you might say, that's going to take a long time. But remember, we're not just setting goals to set them or to set ourselves up for failure, but we're setting goals and trying to establish habits that are, going to be forever, a life change. Again, the art of getting things done. And part of getting things done is taking that big goal, breaking it down into smaller goals so that as you have each step that's feeding into that big goal, you can say, oh, okay, so I did my exercise. In my mind, I know that exercise is going to help get me off of that medicine. I'm going to be tracking to see, oh, did I drink my water? How much water did I drink? That's all going to be key. Again, we're talking the art of getting things done. Goes down to tracking, monitoring, and taking things that are big into small bite-sized pieces. It might sound incredibly impressive to say, you know what, I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year, or I'm going to lose 100 pounds this year. But you don't want to set yourself up for failure. It's not, setting the biggest things out there for yourself, but it's setting something, but giving yourself, realistic steps that you can commit to, and then holding yourself accountable to commit to that. Okay, so we've got down, make your list, prioritize, bite-sized pieces, and then tracking. That's right, tracking. I know some of y'all like, if I have another schedule for another thing, I'm going to lose it. But we have to track it. That's the only way we can keep our progress at the forefront, because you want to give it your full attention. So for me, I do write it down. There's all types, y'all. I got a planner for everything. I'm trying to find my planner. So this is my planner that you can see. I write down in it. So this is the Clever Fox planner, but you can use any kind of planner that you like. I like Clever Fox because at a month's glance, I can see what I'm doing, and then it goes by the week and then by the day. But I can check off where it has my habits. What are the habits I'm trying to build? So for me, it's my water, it's working out, it's am I eating, those types of things. Because believe it or not, I can go all day and I can literally have like a boost in the morning or some yogurt, and I'm just drinking, sipping on water all day. That's not good though. So I've got food down here for that. So write it down. It really, really works. And what I want to ask you all today is, what is something that you've had on your list that you want to accomplish, but you keep saying, you know what, life is getting in the way? What is that thing? What is the one thing that you want to do that's been getting in, you've not been able to get to it? What is that? I want you to write that down. And I want you to start thinking to yourself, time is a precious commodity. We don't have a lot of it, y'all. So what are you spending your time on? Are you wasting your time? Or are you spending your time doing things that's adding value, that's putting you closer to your goals? So when you write your goals down, you're going to look at those goals. And every week you need to list out, what do you plan to do this week for that goal? That's at a week level. And then every day you need to check and see, what do I have? 2 to 3 things that I can do today to help my goal. Today. If it is, maybe you just, if you don't have a lot of weight equipment or whatnot, and you want to get some exercise, and maybe it's just you walked in place for 10 minutes during a commercial. As you was watching TV, you got in front of the TV, and while you was watching it, you just kind of walked in place. Or you were doing some crunches in front of the TV set. Even if you start off with something as little as 10 minutes. 10 minutes is better than no minutes. You might say, well, 10 minutes isn't going to do anything. 10 minutes will do a whole lot, because that 10 minutes dedicated towards a task that's important to you will help build your muscle repetition for that. And you recognize that you did that. That's why you write it down. When you check it off, that's like a positive affirmation to yourself. It's encouraging yourself that, hey, I committed to this and I did it. Then you can add on more time towards the thing that you're trying to develop. Okay? So again, we're going to start off listing out everything, because this is the art of getting stuff done. You list out your goals, really write them down, take a look at them, the next thing, and determine, Are these really the goals that matter most to me? Prioritize which ones are most important, right? Maybe you want to travel, but is your health more important than you traveling? I mean, if you're not healthy, you really can't travel that well, right? So prioritize, neither here nor there, prioritize which goal is a priority for you. And then list out what is it going to take for you to do in order for you to reach that goal. Bite-sized steps. After you get your bite-sized steps, then you're going to determine, okay, which ones are you going to implement first? Because again, don't overwhelm yourself. Don't try to implement eating right, drinking water, working out, going to sleep at a certain time, waking up at a certain time. You know, that could just overwhelm you that little bit alone, right? That bit alone. So pick a goal, implement that, get your rhythm and your cadence for that goal going, and track yourself. Track it, schedule it. Because if you don't schedule it and you say, you know what, I'm going to get this accomplished this week, but you haven't scheduled it, of course life is going to life. Of course things are going to come up. But you have to make the goals that you're working for a priority for you. And making it a priority, meaning you're scheduling time to do this thing. And be real with yourself, y'all. If you know, you're not going to work out when you get off work because you got to get home, you're going to be tired, this, that means you need to move that workout to what? The beginning of your day. That means you need to get up in the beginning of your day. If you know you want to increase your confidence even, then you want to start making sure you're doing things that's going to help you do that. Start recognizing your accomplishments. Start staying committed to you. Show up for you. And then once you start showing up for you, you're going to see results. Results will come in time as long as you're doing something every day that's adding to your goal. Even a small step is still a step forward versus no step at all. And we're talking the art of getting things done. And it's just that simple. You have to know what you want to do, which is why you need a list. You need to prioritize because we can't do all the things all at once. We have to build our muscles around it and build a good framework of where we can incorporate this in our lives and make the commitment to get it done. Track your progress. Hold you accountable. Tell a friend. Have a friend hold you accountable. Because this is important. And you can get things done. You absolutely can. If you want to clean out your closet, if that's a goal that you have, but it's overwhelming, every day, give yourself 20 minutes. You're going to go in there. 20 minutes is better than no time at all. So give yourself 20 minutes a day to go in there to do what you can. Set a timer on your phone, and then that 20 minutes up, guess what? Whatever you were able to accomplish, you accomplished. And before you know it, you will have accomplished your entire goal of what? Cleaning out that closet. Another thing I want to recommend to everybody is I want to recommend the book Atomic Habits. I'm trying to see if I have it on this shelf. I wanted to show. I do. Okay, here it is. This is a really good book. It's Atomic Habits by James Clear. And in this book, he also talks about how you can layer habits to get more things done at once. And I'll give you a quick example. Quick example of layering a habit is, if you want to build a habit around, I don't know, you want to incorporate fitness, but you also want to take in developing yourself. Maybe you want to develop leadership skills or more emotional intelligence skills, right? Well, while you're on the treadmill walking, that's your exercise. You can put your headset on or play, an audio book on learning more skills around emotional intelligence. You're layering your habits at once. So you're able to get more habits done at the same time because you're layering them, right? So just, look at that. But again, this book It's a really good book, y'all. So the name of the book again is Atomic Habits by James Clear. So check it out. It's a good book because we're talking about the art of getting things done. So with that said, I just want to thank you all for joining. Share this with a friend, like it. Again, we want to get stuff done in 25. No more excuses. This is our year to thrive. And on that note, I'm out of here. Have a good night, y'all.